So, come to one of the many issues that has troubled me, puzzled me throughout my life, is the interplay between differing motivations and how they actually inhibit what I do. These can be very clear sort of situations. For example, if someone I'm attracted to needs help, right? I immediately feel this, well, would I want to help them if I wasn't attracted to them, right? Now, somehow it's fine if it's someone that I'm friends with needs help, or, whatever, someone I enjoy being with. But my worry here is always that sort of just very, very superficial kind of, well, I think they're attractive and I can see they could use, maybe give up a seat on the bus to them, as one example. But it goes deeper than that. It also goes to worries about, if there's an old lady who needs a seat, who I'm obviously not attracted to, but then I'm worried, am I trying to look, noble and gracious by offering this? My answer with that is usually to wait and let anyone else who maybe has purer intentions or is less aware, because this is the real problem, it's the introspection. The introspection rules everything. In the sense of, gee, I might be doing this for reasons other than just that person needs help. And while I understand that they need help, I'm willing to hold off on the offer long enough to give someone else a chance to make that noble act or whatever, simply because I don't trust my own nobility in such cases. It's almost as though everything I do has to be for pure and understood reasons. And if it's not, it troubles me morally so much that I'm kind of frozen in a difficulty in making those decisions. Now, I don't know. It's not like I can't have multiple motivations for something. For example, it was fine when I used to go out dancing, or if I go for a walk. No longer does this happen with dancing, by the way, where I have this thought of, oh wow, I might meet people. Even just for friendship, but also I might meet someone that I can form a deeper connection with. I don't know how much deeper you get than friendship. Okay. But, okay, a more sexual connection with, if we want to put it that way. I have no problem with that. I would, sit outside and do my studies with my pipe and whatnot, dressed sometimes nicely, sometimes not, in an observable place regularly, with the hopes of sort of attracting some attention. This is sort of the opposite of how my wife was, where she wanted to avoid all unintentional sort of incidental attentions. But, it comes with being a narcissist. So, in those cases, I have this mixture of reasons. I'll go out for a walk because, hey, I want exercise. Sometimes I enjoy walks, and I might, something cool might happen. Whatever cool might mean. Sometimes something cool might happen means just seeing an animal or something. And in some way, that's not impure. I'm not bothered by that. But I'm very, very bothered by anything where I look and say, would I make this same offer, or would I take these same actions without a certain sort of specific hope in play? I'm not, because I'm not even sure how much it is. I mean, I really don't know. But if there's any question in my mind, and there almost always are questions in my mind about any actions that I take, about anything that I do, as to why I'm doing it this particular way, why am I taking these actions, why am I reaching out, in any sense of the word. There's something that locks down on that. Now, on the other hand, there's also, and this is what makes it particularly hard, there's this direct inhibition of, taking risks and chances of that kind of nature, like approaching a person, even someone I'm not attracted to just talk with them. But that's for different reasons. That inhibition is due to the, hey, I have no right to intrude on this person. They're living their own, and this is where my wife and I agree completely, and in fact, most people I've been with is this sort of, it is almost impossible, to come up with a situation where someone should be approached and talked to. There's perfectly reasonable reasons to do so, like, hey, can you give me directions here? Because I've walked around for 15 minutes and I can't find this place. Obviously, I will have taken that 15 minutes walking around first, because that's just how I am. But before I would get frustrated enough with my own inability to actually ask for help in such a case. But it feels like whenever whenever you're approaching someone, you're invading their privacy in a sense. And I don't care where they are. I mean, they could be a place where the intention is probably to meet people as a sort of social norm or whatever, like a bar or a coffee shop or whatever. But it may not be. You know what I mean? It may not be. And something there just completely locks me down and says, no, you don't take that step. And I don't know, again, there's conflicting inhibitions in play, right? It may just be my being used to not doing so. My never having been a person who did that. I mean, I was the kid who would go off and play by myself on the playground rather than go up to the other kids and try to, get involved in whatever the hell they were doing. And if they came and asked me to do something, that'd be cool. I got no problem with that. But somehow I felt always the intruder into other people's things in a way that, like, and this is where I'm different from other people that I've dealt with who have a similar sort of moral basis. I don't feel necessarily too encumbered by people approaching me first. I will start to show a level of impatience or something. You know, if somebody's talking to me and I'm not really comfortable. Sometimes things just don't click, and sometimes people just keep chattering and chattering on. Or sometimes their approach is so horrible that you just want to brush them aside or whatever. But other times it works out fine. So it's not like I hold it as some sort of moral imperative that everyone should follow. I feel like it's one that I should follow. And it may be my own social maladroitness that's behind all of this, which is to say that I know that if I approach someone, it goes badly. And similarly, if I offer to help, it usually is not accepted. You know, I may just give off that creepy vibe. I don't really know. Somehow, yeah. And I struggle with this because at one point last year, I actually did reach out to someone, and I wouldn't have dared normally, but I was rather traumatized at the time, and it looked like they were going through problems too. And you know, quite honestly, I could have used somebody to be able to go and talk with or whatever. And since then, I've found people that I can. So I'm less, there's less of an overpowering, wow, you're so fucked, you know, it's worth taking this chance or whatever. But yeah, again, it came off as probably just weird, and that's just sort of the nature. It's almost like if there's anything underlying that might inhibit those more pure feelings, I really, really don't know that I'm capable of coping with it. And it's not like I have some kind of, again, I don't have some kind of expectation that other people follow this code or any reason to believe that they do. Every now and then you meet somebody and you might say, well, that's actually a truly nice person. They seem, you know, to always be willing to lend a hand or whatever. But that's a different, you know, these kind of people are very, very rare, and I don't understand them. They're just alien to me. But other people seem to dispense with any problem with this kind of, gosh, why am I doing this type of questions, you know? Or they're perfectly happy with with whatever the motivations are that they have underlying. And I'm really concerned that I'm not happy with them, that they disturb me, that the idea that, like, if I'm offering to help, I should be wanting to help. That's all I should want to do. Or if I'm approaching someone to talk, I should be desiring of conversation, and that's it. When I know, and now this, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I hate small talk and all that, but they don't really. They've got they get something out of it. For me, I get nothing out of small talk unless I'm already very, very close with a person, at which point I don't mind chattering about things. About the only way that I will interject, and it always feels fucking odd as hell, is if I overhear a conversation and it's something that I'm really, really interested in, And I feel like I can add something. For example, if somebody is reaching for an author's name and they're both kind of working at it, and their conversation's getting kind of stalled out on that, I'll interject with what I know is the answer, or something along those lines. But that just comes off as weird too, you know. But that feels pure to me, you know. And in fact, my immediate feeling is I should just blurt it out to them right away, and I generally go through several minutes of no, this will be weird, but eventually, you know, enough time passes. If the conversation hasn't moved on and they're still stuck on it, yeah, I'll do that. It's very, very odd. You know, even with like gamers, you know, if they're playing a game at a table, and I come over and I look for a little while and kind of watch, I'm not going to say anything, and I don't ask any questions usually. Unless it's clear somebody's there kind of selling the game or something, you know? It's just that kind of thing. I just, I don't know. Because the truth of the matter is, so I might have some interest in what they're looking at game-wise or whatever, but it's probably pretty low grade. It's probably nowhere near the level of, you know, a bag breaking or papers falling everywhere or something like that, where I feel compelled to do something about it. My interest in that game has to be really, really high to push that kind of question. So it may just be not an issue, really, of these questions and the motivations, so much as whatever the inhibition, and some of it is also the appearance of, right? I don't want to appear to be interested in something not pure, not purely what I'm dealing with, right? Which is kind of odd, but it does fit in a lot with a lot of things. There's this real belief in purity in my life. Not, you know, like, nothing that would fit any kind of normal moral system, but more that, like, what motivates me to do something has to be a pure impulse towards that. And if it's not, then the brain clicks in, and the brain starts processing and ticking off the why I can't do this. And it doesn't help that, you know, when I do try quite often, again, I'm maladroit at dealing with people. Not so much in certain situations, but in that approach or in that offer or whatever, it's so sort of alien maybe, that it feels like, you know, it's obvious to them that something's off, right? That there's something just weird there going on. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, this was on my mind. I don't think I've expressed it well at all, but that's about the time that I have for it, and I don't think I'm going to reach any better thinking on it on this video.